Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Laura Roberts, and I'm the head of science at Sophia High School. And I'm just going to talk you through some of the really important points that we focus on in our science department. So, to start with, all of our science teachers have science qualifications and are experts in their field. So, that means that we each have a passion for our subject, and we really wish to pass that on and enthuse our younger learners. To do that, we look at engaging science lessons. And I will show you some of the different activities that we can do to really engage our students and make sure that they are fully involved in the lessons. Obviously, science lessons normally have a hands-on practical element. And we've managed to overcome that with lots and lots of different online resources, which I think, definitely engage students and probably are, equally as entertaining and engaging as actually having that full hands-on experience. The other key thing is in science, we have small classes, and it means that we're able to have flexible pacing in our lessons. That means that we don't allow our students to fall behind. We make sure that they fully understand the topics before we move forward. So let me have a look and just show you some of the different ways in which we can engage students in lessons. So obviously our lessons are online. And if I just share this tab, the first thing that we normally would look at would be videos. Okay, and obviously YouTube have so many different videos. This is just for ecology, so I'm looking at ecology at the moment. And normally I would probably start with maybe a 5-minute introduction video to get students engaged in that particular idea about what we are going to be studying. Alongside that, we've also subscribed to a site called Labster. Now, Labster is an online practical-based laboratory learning, and it has lots and lots of different activities. So if I just show you through here, so we've got biologies, technology, evolution, chemistry. So even though our students are not actually in a laboratory, they still look and are able to develop some of the skills that they would in a normal, in-person school. So let's have a look. We've got acids and alkalis. So obviously these feature heavily in the Key Stage 3 and Key Stage 4 curriculum. We've got different types of matter, ionic and covalent bonding, again, GCSE. So if we have a look at one of these, I'll just choose one of these. So if we're looking at distillation, so this is a really, obviously important part of the chemistry syllabus. It gives the students an idea of what they're going to be looking at, but this is the actual interactive activity. So this is just a video example of what the students would be seeing.
Welcome to the Martian Research Lab. Here you will learn how
to mute it, but it's going to be completely interactive. So the students get to move the robot around. They get to carry out the experiment that's listed. And then they'll be kind of questioned on it with multiple choice questions. So it links into our course, and this is really important when we've got core practicals for our GCSE subjects and also for A-level. So that's just a little sample of the activity there. So we have a whole range of different experiments that we're able to do virtually in our lessons. Got another example here because currently with another group, we are studying electrical circuits, and we can go to the lab here and we can actually construct circuits. So it's the same as what students would be doing in a classroom. They would have their wires, they would have their batteries, they're able to attach their light bulbs, and we can make series circuits, and we can make parallel circuits, and we can also use the voltmeter to test the voltage. We've got the ammeter to look at the current. So it's pretty much the same content and syllabus that students would be learning in a school. As we move through here, other resources that we can use is footprint science. this is great as well because it gives small, short little animations on some of the practical work that we can't do, but basically is to enable students to understand. So this is testing a leaf for starch. So again, it's a very important one that comes up at GCSE and at Key Stage 3, just to have a look at whether photosynthesis is happening in a plant. And so it talks right the way through the whole experiment, and students can go back and watch these again and again. We've also got the chemistry ones. So each of these are really helpful. And then at the bottom, we've also got multiple choice questions, little quizzes that they can comment on, and have a go at sort of making sure that they totally understand that particular piece of work. So these are really, really helpful for really sort of helping students understand the theory that we are covering in lessons. So not only do we have these, we have some more interactive activities. So for example, we can go on field trips. So this is one of the science museums. And one of our students, not one of our students, sorry, one of our classes has been to the Science Museum before, and we were looking at a butterfly display. We were going through a butterfly garden, and the students were using the butterflies that they were finding within the garden to be able to identify and produce keys. So that was linking into the late Key Stage 2 and early Key Stage 3 syllabus. So we also are able to do activities like this. So alongside that, other things that we can do is go to Google Earth. So we've used Google Earth at times as well. If I just share that tab. So this is Google Earth. And Google Earth actually has its own lessons planned. So it links into geography, it can link into English, but obviously we look for the science ones. So in terms of some of the science topics that we've looked at, we're currently looking at space, so comparing Earth and solar system planets, really interesting. We've got Earth energy, so we've been looking at renewable energy resources. We've also been looking at biodiversity. So depending on the year group and the curriculum content, we would be looking and using this. So here's one for extreme biodiversity on the high seas. So instead of just talking about these topics, we can actually have a look and use the interactivities. So the students are able to have a look at actually where these different biodiversity hotspots are in the world. Click on the information, and it actually gives them information about it so they can learn more. And it helps really develop an interest in our world, and some of the topics that we're actually looking at. So that's, again, very interesting. So alongside that then, okay, we also have a very strong exam preparation and real world relevance link in with our science. In terms of exams, we currently have students preparing for GCSEs and also for A-levels. We've got access to examination materials, so we're able to tailor make our own exams with real exam questions. We also spend a lot of time preparing students to be able to answer some of those questions in terms of using exam command words. That really holds some of the students back. So we spend a lot of time preparing them to understand what we mean by the words explain or describe or justify. And that really kind of gives our students the advantage then when they're answering these exam questions. We obviously really want to link science to real world relevance. We're hoping that we are, encouraging the future doctors and engineers. And so in our lessons, we do try to bring that realism and understanding of how you would, use these different theories where they're important. So that's some of the key things that we look at in science. So I'm hoping you enjoyed that. Thank you very much.